Now to a story the Target 12 investigators have been tracking since last week. A state-run drug lab under scrutiny. Hundreds of cases are under the microscope after cross-contamination showed a sample tested positive for cocaine when it shouldn't have. So every Friday we go in depth with Target 12, and joining us in studio this week is Tim White. And Tim, you sat down with Attorney General Peter Neronha about this issue and others, and he wasn't pleased with how this all played out.
No, Katie wasn't. I mean, the Department of Health discovered the cross-contamination in the fall, but didn't notify the AG's office until last week. The concern is evidence tested at the drug lab may have come back positive for cocaine, resulting in a drug charge or even a conviction that shouldn't have. Prosecutors are obligated to inform defense attorneys when there is evidence that could exonerate the defendant. Neronha tells me had his office been told earlier, they wouldn't be scrambling right now.
If I have a concern, it's that I wish I'd been notified earlier. Because if I'd been notified earlier, perhaps we would have known, what this number was then, and I could have worked on this project then and notified defense counsel then.
So do we know if there are people serving time that maybe shouldn't be?
Well, what we know is there are 12 people at the ACI whose cases are now under review. Those defendants may have already been convicted or are being held pending trial. Neronha says 11 of those 12 have additional charges, so this revelation would have little to no impact on their status. There is one defendant whose case they are scrutinizing more. In all, they have identified 52 felony cases that are now under review with 62 defendants. They've already determined 20 defendants are not impacted by the issue at the drug lab, and they're working their way through the rest right now.
We have to go back and see whether or not cocaine is the only count. If there's a gun charge or there's also a possession with intent to deliver heroin or fentanyl, it's not going to impact the case very much, but we want to make sure of that.
But there are also hundreds of misdemeanor cases the AG's office has to look at.
Kate, we're talking about 263 of these misdemeanor cases. They are simple possession charges of under 10 grams of cocaine. Now, they will move on to those once they get their arms around the more serious felony cases.
Wow. So the full report on the issue at the drug lab is on WPRI.com. Target 12 investigator Tim White, thank you.
Thank you.